Hi, Annalena. So nice to meet you here on the Subscribe podcast. I'm quite excited to have you here today, but first of all, why did you decide, or what made you decide to spend time with me today? And also tell me about yourself. What brought you here, and who are you?
So much. I'm really happy to do this podcast with you. And yeah, we will see what will happen. So I decided to be here because you're a super nice guy. I like you. And you offered me to be here, to be your guest. And I think that's my main motivation. And obviously also to talk and spread the message because I love what I'm doing. And yeah, what do you want me to tell about me? Like where I started or who I am? Maybe who I am. I'm Annalina. I'm 34 years old. I moved to Vienna from Berlin and I'm a best-selling cookbook author. I'm into nutrition. I'm a nutritionist and a yoga teacher, Pilates teacher, but like my money comes from full-time content creation. So I have a podcast by myself and I have a blog and I run Instagram. And I would say I love to spread the message about health, longevity, and being conscious. So my podcast is actually called Conscious Gangster, which is kind of my motto, being conscious, but also gangster. You know what I mean?
I love that. I think I'm more on the gangster side for a long time of
Yeah,
my life. Yeah.
we need, because I like to listen, for example, to dirty hip hop and I always loved it. And then I like to dance and things like that. So it's
What German hip hop do you listen to? What's the band or
hmm?
what's the artist? What's the German hip hop artist you
German.
used
I
to like?
don't listen to German. It's more Drake or something like that.
Ah,
American.
Drake. Ah, okay, Drake. So what?
Oh,
Tell me three artists. Three
Tiger. I like
artists.
Tiger as well.
Tiger. Yeah.
Drake, Tiger, and then I just listen to whatever pops up. Nicki Minaj.
Cool.
And you?
Oh, I really love like it's kind of old stuff, like People Under the Stairs, Atmosphere, that type of things, like old school hip hop. From the newer things, I'm a bit out of it. I'm not so into the synthesizer and things like that, and or the voice. The voice changed a lot. I don't know if it's classified as hip hop, but I really like The Weeknd. It's like not really hip hop. I know what it is. It's pop,
It's nice,
I
yeah.
guess. I like Drake as well, but I'm really into old school hip hop. I used to listen. I listened to it so much, but not anymore. I'm old myself. Old people don't listen to old school hip hop.
You're my age, right? You're still young.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, we are young. What I find very interesting about you is that you did something in psychology before. Did you study it? Did you were interested in it? Like, what was past Annalena doing like many, many years ago?
Yeah, I studied science of education. I don't know if so in German there's a word for it, but we don't have this in English, but it's kind of science of education with
Yeah,
the topic or with the focus on psychology and mood food. So how mood can infect how food can infect our mood and how we can influence our mood by ourselves by eating and also in the other way around. And then this was my bachelor's and my master's I did in sport health and event management. And then
cool.
and then I did a plant-based nutritionist and then I started with other things like yoga, some yoga, like 200 hours and another 200 hours and another 100 hours of yoga certifications and then Pilates and then some other things at the uni. But yeah, basically,
But that was in Berlin, right? All of this happened in Berlin, right?
no, my bachelor was in Bamberg at the university in Bamberg, which is a really nice old city of heritage. And then my master was in Karlsruhe. And then I
Why are
moved
you
to,
laughing? What's funny about Karlsruhe? How is it there?
you have been there?
No, I haven't been. I have no idea.
No, I think, I don't know why I was laughing because I remembered the time in Karlsruhe, I'm mostly studying men and almost no female person. And like, when there's a woman, all the men are coming and 'cause it's just a tech, city. And there's a really nice university, only how do you say tech, fields.
It's like in San Francisco, which is where I used to live. They also call it Man Francisco.
Yeah.
And when I was in February 2024, like last year ago, I remember I arrived. I was with Nathan, the guy who helped me in the startup, an investor and friend of mine. And I stayed in his place. He was very kind to let me stay there. And I went out, went to the gym for 3 days, and I didn't see a single woman for 3 days. I went to the gym in the morning, I exercised. I'm exaggerating a bit, but it was like that. Like it felt like, oh wow, there's like no females there, which is good because at the time I was in a relationship. So I guess if you're far away from home in San Francisco, don't worry. Like nothing can happen if you're a straight man in a relationship. Well, okay. And what brought you to You are from Berlin. You lived in Berlin afterwards, after your study, and then you came to Vienna. Why Vienna? I mean, Vienna, the only not so cool people there, like not like Berlin. So, what brought you to Vienna?
Yeah, so in Berlin, it was the perfect city for me for my lifestyle because at this point I was fully vegan, and there was like I started to be vegan in 2014, and there was nothing. There was almost no plant-based milk. There was nothing tasty in all the other cities I've been before. But in Berlin, it was already a thing, so you already knew it. And then I had a really good time there. But after 6 years, I got to know my boyfriend. He was living in Vienna, but he's German as well. So yeah, it's the love. I moved because of him to Vienna, and I love Vienna because it's so beautiful. And I think it has, so in Vienna I would say I'm a little bit underwhelmed. Sometimes there's a little bit too less of us for me, whereas in Berlin there's a little bit too much sometimes because I have all
So
my
Munich
friends.
would be the best. Munich would be in between, right? Munich.
Yes. Yeah, but we're gonna make Vienna. We're gonna bring Vienna to there. So it will be something in between. So it's coming.
Vienna is kind of the Paris of the DACH region, right?
Yeah.
Like the city of love. Yeah. I also moved to Vienna a few months ago for love. It didn't last that long, but
You try.
I tried my best.
Hmm.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, Vienna is very nice. I mean, like I like Berlin. I was in Berlin. I love it. I have a lot of friends there. I'm feeling more connected with the people in Berlin. I would say on an average level. I don't know why. It is maybe because it's a bit more international. You know, it's a
People
bit more
don't
international.
German
Yeah.
here. They don't speak German. It's so yeah, because people are here from everywhere, so it's so much easier if you are from somewhere else to connect. And the
Yeah.
same for me. It's really hard. Berlin is hard to beat. I have troubles in Vienna as well to connect to people because they have their groups, like they have their friends since ever, and they have really deep relations. And in Berlin, it's coming, going, so you make relations really fast, but it can be super deep as well because you connect on a really deep level because people have seen so many things. So it's yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, I'm from Vienna and I find it hard to connect with people from there. I have friends for a long time. Actually, one of my friends, they run a vegetarian restaurant in Vienna.
What's it?
It's called Vrenk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they run it. First vegetarian restaurant in Vienna since the 80s. Yeah. So what you do is mood food. So I'm like when I don't know how food affects me, but I just remember when I was 27, I was hospitalized twice because I was very stressed and I forgot to eat. When I'm stressed, I don't eat, and then I ate something really spicy, and I had all this acid reflux in my stomach, and I always thought stress is an imagination on your digestion. It's like all the people say, oh, they have stomach ache because they're stressed. They're like kind of silly. Doesn't exist. And then I had this stomach cramps and was laying on the floor in this Mexican place in San Francisco. And then I asked my ex-partner, like, hey, we had a fight. I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm on the toilet on the floor. I'm not feeling well. What should I do? And then I went to the hospital and I just had like acidity. And it was because of stress. And I was like, ah, wow, okay, maybe there's a point about the mood influencing the body and stuff like that and the food. And that is the first time I experienced that when I was 28. But generally, I think I have a very unaware connection with my mood and food, or unintentional connection. I know now what to do a little bit more and what not to do. How is it for you? Like, how did you get into this space, and how do you think food actually impacts the mood? Is this still something that you think about today, or are you already like on a new level of your journey with your podcast and publications?
I still like it because I see how it impacts affects me. And I mean, the brain gut connection is really, it's crazy. It's so effective in both ways. So there is a voice coming from your gut to your brain, and they thought that it's more from the brain to your gut, but now recently they found studies how the communication really is, and you can do so many things because your health is really in your gut. So by changing your food habits, and right now it seems like it's even more based on what you eat than the other way around. And so many hormones are built in our gut as well. So it's crazy. And I came to it with my bachelor since I did this. I wrote my bachelor thesis about how food impacts our mood. Mood food, example, chocolate, because you say chocolate makes you happy. So I did studies on that.
Is it
Actually,
true? Does it make you happy if you take
it
out the
would.
sugar?
So that's the thing. It would if you eat only black chocolate with lots of tryptophan, which is an amino acid. It would kind of make you happy, but we would have to eat so much that I think you wouldn't be happy after it because you would be a little bit. It would be a little bit too much chocolate. But that's the thing about the L-tryptophan. So to me, mood food means eating in a way that supports emotional balance, brain chemistry, and gut health, but still focusing on the how it tastes and joyful and satisfying. So on a scientific level, it's that I focus on food rich in L-tryptophan, which is this amino acid. It's an essential amino acid that serves as a processor to serotonin. Maybe you've heard of it, our feel-good neurotransmitter.
Yeah.
And serotonin influences our mood, our sleep, and our digestion, and even pain perception. And then it's really interesting that tryptophan has to cross the blood-brain barrier to be converted into serotonin. And for that, it competes with other amino acids. So it's not just about eating tryptophan. It's also about pairing it right. Also what you do during your day, how you move, how you sleep. And so that's why I like to eat in a tryptophan rich supportive way. So let's say foods like oats, soy, pumpkin seeds, tofu, cashew, tempeh, fermented soy, bananas, lentils. So basically all plants that has a lot of proteins.
Yeah.
And then I pair it with colors because obviously we need colors, and I like to eat the rainbow. So yeah, that's a
What do you mean
side
colors? What do you mean
color
colors?
colors vegetables like all
Okay.
like
Okay. Yeah.
have you heard about Eat the Rainbow?
I heard about it. What does it mean, eat the rainbow?
It means that you have a plate. Your plate looks always like a rainbow. So you have something white like garlic and or cabbage. Then you have something green like spinach or
Ah,
kale.
okay. Yeah.
You have something red like paprika or tomatoes. So you basically eat all the colors, and then because each color serves different nutrients and vitamins, and you need to be on the safe side, you can just eat all the colors and you always get everything.
Is there like an evolutionary driver for us to want it? Probably, right? There's like this red, and because it's kind of funny that you are interesting to say that because I grew up without fast food. So
Yeah.
mom, she's like she's an artist and very specific ideas on things.
Mm-hmm.
Very good ones as well, and some were, it depends, I guess. But it was when I was a kid, she would be like, oh yeah, there's no fast food, we don't go to McDonald's, like no fried food. So I had to cook myself very early on. And I think the reason why I think that there's no relationship between stress and food is because I always had good food by accident. In my upbringing, like all the salads and uh, also like carb-rich diet with pasta, which is not that unhealthy. Like not so much meat. That's the point. I think not so much meat, generally speaking. And I feel that eating porridge in the morning, that's something I learned. That's like small breakfast is not good. So I feel like to me it was kind of natural to eat that way, like having also tomato salad or salad and stuff like that. But I realized for others it's not. Like for the common person growing up in Vienna or in a city, it's not. I grew up also on a farm, partly. Maybe that's why. Do you think there's like an awareness problem that people don't know about? It's not about the benefit that this exists. Some people literally grow up with. Some people literally grow up with eating pizza when they're young, and like processed food. So they don't know, I guess, right? That's kind of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's why you make little metaphors like just eat colorful and you get what you need. Your body needs that. And yeah, I mean, many people don't know about they think steak and maybe bread. Yeah, that's nice because I mean that's the thing about proteins. People always focus on proteins, which is good. We need proteins, but we need other things as well. And if you eat too much proteins, it's also not good. And then you can get this acidity in it. So, for example, my ex-boyfriend started to eat plant-based after a while, and he said that his, how you say, reflux, I think Sodbrennen, you know, Sodbrennen?
Yeah, reflux.
Reflux, yeah, went away. And he didn't know that this is something you don't have to have. So that's why probably if you eat too much dairy products, it might not be the right diet for you. And but people grew up like this and they don't know it better because that's just normal for them to have that. So
Do you
then
eat
it's
dairy products yourself, or are you vegan? You're completely vegan, right?
so I went vegan, ethical vegan 2014.
Okay.
Over 10 years. And then I got some troubles, like hormone troubles. So I started to include eggs. And now I'm more eat my favorite food is still vegan and plant-based. But I think eggs are really important, especially for females, for women. And then I'm just not that strict about anymore. So when there's something with fermented fermented dairy, I would eat it. I don't eat lactose, but like kefir I would eat
What
or
about Parmesan?
parmesan when so a big fan of cheese, but parmesan if this is somewhere on top, I would
Okay, I
also.
see what you mean. Yeah,
But I would never do it at home. At home I eat vegan with eggs.
yeah.
But
It's
since I'm traveling so much, it's more convenient sometimes to be not that strict anymore.
I discovered eggs recently as well as a great source of protein, like because I had these protein shakes in the morning, and I
Hmm.
didn't realize I was drinking like 50 grams of sugar in the morning because I ate like three of those protein shakes, like 60 grams of protein. Oh, that's awesome. Or like 70, I know, like a lot
Yes.
protein. And then my sister was like, "Haven't you checked how much sugar it is?" It's fine, it's no sugar. And look at it. And like 5 gram are okay, or 7, 8 gram of sugar, but then I saw like 15 gram, or maybe sometimes 20 if I drink four, is like a lot.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it, say what? What?
Yeah, but what was it what kind of sugar was it?
It was like added sugar in these drinks in the supermarket you get
They
in
add
Austria.
sugar into protein?
There was like sugar. I don't know what type of sugar it was, but I realized, okay, I need to first I moved from plant-based protein to dairy protein this year, basically because I had that, or last year because I had this digestion problem from soy-based protein and fermented pea
Mhm.
protein. And then I had this new protein source. And then I realized, okay, I need to change again. And then I was like, okay, what can I eat? Like animal-based protein because I can't digest a plant-based protein easily, unfortunately. And then I thought, oh, can I eat meat in the morning? It's kind of gross. And I figured out it's eggs because eggs are amazing. So now I'm eating eggs and oats together because I really love having carbs and long-chained sugars so I can have energy for the day. And eggs are amazing. I love it. It's great. Like I eat like 3 to 4 eggs in the morning. Sometimes I throw the egg yolk away. Don't tell anyone because I don't know. Like I just wanna. I'm not counting calories, but I feel like okay, it would be a lot of fat. And I love eggs as a source of protein. It's my new thing. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
That's really nice. It's
Can I eat
really
the yolk? Is the yolk unhealthy if I eat 6 or 4? Or how much yolk can I eat? Like,
you
should I
can
keep it?
eat. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Did you know that in New York it's more protein than in the white thing, in the egg white?
No, I didn't, but I'm very happy you tell me because I had this suspicion, like, is there actually more protein than in the white? I never knew.
It
That's
is
really great.
a
Yeah.
myth that because some people throw the yolk away because they think it's only fat, but it's actually also a good source. So it's both. It's fat, but really healthy fats. That's also why it's so healthy for females because we have a completely different food intake and we have completely different needs from men. So we really need to focus on healthy fats as well. And I did that wrong for a really long time. So the egg yolk is really beneficial and I mean, it makes sense, right? The egg by itself. If you isolate foods, there is a science behind why it comes like this. And if you take something out, you change the whole thing and the whole concept behind it. And sometimes science is not that fast. And we just think, okay, let's take the good thing. But I mean, we don't know how the cycle is in general. So we don't really understand how that one thing impacts the other thing and how it is if you take one thing out, you just have this one thing, but maybe it works completely different in our body. So that's not so easy. So I always say if you leave the things how they come from nature, it's the best.
Yeah, I agree with that. For some reason, I never had a lot of processed food, and because I used to work as a cook
Mm-hmm. Nice.
when I was young, and yeah, I mean, I love cooking. I loved food. I think that's the point. It doesn't matter that I worked as a cook. I just loved cooking and food and the connection with it and the ingredients and stuff. But yeah, I have to admit, I grew up eating meat. I also grew up on the farm, so I was close to the full circle of
Yeah.
life from growing up to the end, and I'm kind of okay with that. And then there's this, I think, this thing as well that many people eating meat don't know about how animals live and die, and then they're always very shocked. But yeah, how what?
That's kind of how I became vegan. I mean, I did know, but I worked at a butcher and they asked me if I want to kill it and I said no. And then I thought, okay, if I cannot even kill it, I don't want to eat it. I mean, I cannot even watch how they kill it. So I just don't want to eat
It's
it.
actually, yeah, I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I mean, it's in a way animals are like humans. Like it could be like humans, like pigs or things like that. They're like sweet animals.
Yes.
But yeah, but I still eat meat and I'm okay with it. But how has your views changed over time? Have they shifted? And how can I have a better conversation around food ethics around that? I mean, am I a bad person because I want to eat meat? I'm bad for the environment and in that sense.
Yeah.
Like how can I have better conversations around it without guilt or f feeling like extreme? What's your view? What's your advice on that? Yeah, to me.
Yeah, I would definitely say that curiosity is the key, like curiosity and compassion into conversations, to listen, to learn, have less judgment. There is no right diet for one person, so there's also not the perfect diet for each person. We all need different. We all have different needs, and so it's really to judge less, to be more curious, to listen more, and to ask yourself the right questions like where does it come from? What impact does it have? What feels aligned? Is it good for me? Do I need it? Do I eat it because someone says it's good for me? So to connect to yourself. And if you really listen to your body, I think your body might tell you or should tell you what you need. I mean, it's hard. The more we know, the harder it might get because you think too much. So I had that. I was thinking way too much. That's also what changed now before I started, because I could never eat something because I was eating so emotional. So never eating something from animals or a little bit unhealthy because I thought, it's not good for my body. It's so bad. And then it's actually bad. So and I disconnected from my intention and I connected more to what I knew. So I think it's always important to check in with your body again and ask yourself, what is the thing I need, and eat conscious. And then, so yeah, for me, it's that I soften and now I'm approaching more that connection and really listen to my needs and not being too much into studies and thinking about improvement all the time, because what nature is doing is the best and I don't need to optimize everything all the time, because I think it is already great like it is, and a lot of it is marketing and no one knows me better than I do. And also the science changes almost every day. There's almost a new change, a new science. And if we talk about longevity, we talk about like the top 1% that we can improve. But the basics are always unprocessed plant-based, but not only plant-based, but plant-focused foods, then good sleep, movement, and a good social life. That is the basics, and then we can dive deeper into that.
Yeah, it's true. That's where we met during exercise, right?
Yeah.
So we were, yeah. I really love, or I think we both love exercise.
We
I
love
think
it.
yeah, I think it's not getting stronger. I think for me, it is the feeling I get on, no matter what happens, I'm gonna have a good day. That's, I think, how I think about it. If
That's the
I
same
were
for
not,
me.
what?
That's the same for me. It's my morning habit. It's my ritual I need, or my routine I need to have a really good day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. And to me, sometimes my days are so hard, but I don't realize it. Like, I actually do realize it in high. So yesterday, like, I was so tired, working so long and stuff. And then I wake up in the morning, I exercise, like, ah, cool, nothing happened. I feel like I can start again. Let's do the same thing again. So exercise really helps me. And then also combining it with meeting great people is like awesome. So I think for when we met, we exercise and then we have a coffee. I eat like porridge. It's like perfect. Like I have basically the most important pillars of my life captured next to like physical pillars or longevity pillars, next to obviously my partner, my imaginary partner. And that's really great. I really love it. And then I have my work and stuff. And I think my work, like yours, you need to manage yourself. And yeah, I think exercise is so important for anyone, and in particular for people like me who create something or who manage uncertainty. I guess it's the same for you, or how is it for you? How's
Yeah,
exercise fit in your
it's
life?
my way of forgetting everything. It's also that I'm really in a flow when I work out, and that's the funny thing is that it brings me structure, but in this moment it's just this, and I don't think at all. So I'm really present in this moment, and then it structures all my day. And then also I think so when I did my yoga teacher training, my guru said yoga is 2 hours on the mat.
You have a guru assigned
Yeah,
and you would,
not
okay.
anymore, but I had a guru at this time, yeah. And he said yoga is 2 hours on the mat and 24 hours off the mat. And I think that explains it so well. And because you live it on the mat, but on the mat you do the exercises, the asanas, and off the mat you do everything else, the philosophy. And for sports, it's not that deep. It's not the same philosophy, but it's kind of the same. If you have the discipline to go to your workout every morning, you will have the discipline to do great work, to structure your day, and to run a business. And I mean, that's what we do. We both run a business and we have people working for us. And so that is when you keep on doing on the mat, you also keep on doing in your life, and
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
take that of the sports routine as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I had to learn it, I was like I was in a job for a long period of time.
Hmm.
And in my work, I felt like I'm not really on the mat. I felt like I'm like a robot that is being programmed to do certain things. I mean, of course, I was not, but I felt like, yeah, I have to do certain things and stuff, and you have to do it this way and not any different. And then when I started working, when they tell you in a company, you are the CEO now, you're the CEO of, I was a product manager and did product growth and not product marketing. I'm bad marketer. I did like channel marketing and growth marketing at Meta, and then Canvas. I'm really into product growth, and I love it. And then I tell you always these things like when you start in this company, you're the CEO of your product, but you're not the CEO of anyone. You're just the servant of anyone. The master of none. But you have big impact. It's awesome. And then when you put the paradox is, if you're in a big organization and you put in too much effort, you actually disrupt things. because, you're moving faster than anyone else in the system and you're becoming a problem. So you kind of need to pace yourself or work in ways that others don't realize. So if you work on the weekend, you shouldn't really let them know. And there's like all these things that shouldn't make you an outsider because the social dynamics are so important to succeed, because you need to move things forward differently. And then when I worked for myself, I just kept working and I kind of loved it because I realized the more I put in, the more I get out. It's direct correlation. And I couldn't moderate myself really. I still can't. I find it difficult till my long-term partner left me in January. And, we had a really good relationship, and I think we had a good relationship. For her, probably it wasn't, but I felt like we were really connected. I think it's true. And then I had to think about moderation and stuff like that. And I'm still not good in it, but I'm learning it. How is it for you? But sport was the one thing that grounded me, sport. So sport is the one thing that helped me manage anything, really. How is it for you? How's sport for you, and your work, and you relate?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the one thing no one can take me. I always have. It's my pillar, like my pillar, which is grounding me as well, giving me safety, security, discipline. But also there I learned to be more soft to myself, to check in, do I really need sports today? What kind of sport do I do? Because I really like to work out every day. But then I also know that women need some breaks in between depending on the period, because we have different cycles. There is for men the circadian rhythm, and women have the circadian rhythm and the infradian rhythm, which is the cycle as the period. So I also got more soft here, and I still move every day, but sometimes it's more fun. So for me, it's just I go there, I have fun, it's my thing. Don't need to put everything out of me to be super exhausted. It's just a thing I do for myself. It's a self-love act, and it's giving me so much joy and passion. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So since it gives you so much joy and passion, you decided to do something around that, actually in Vienna. Do you want to talk about it?
Okay, so in Vienna, I sometimes feel like I didn't work out when I went to a workout. So,
But I agree to that. In Australia, I was like the tiniest person in the gym. And in Vienna, I
you are the
was
biggest.
almost, I was strong, like one of the
Yeah.
strong. And it's like, I'm not even giving 100%. Like, how it can, I'm not reaching my max rep. So anyhow, so tell us about your dream. So it was your dream.
Yes. So my dream is to build a studio which connects everything. It has a more holistic approach. So I want really tough workouts, but I mean, obviously you can have some recovering effects as well, maybe with infrared, but I'm focusing on Lacroix, which is a really tough workout, but also healthy. It's high resistance, low impact, and it's not Pilates. It's way harder than Pilates, and you will definitely, if you do it right, and there is not, even if you cheat, it will be super exhausting. But if you do it right, if you're doing your first workout, you will die. You definitely will die. It will be really shaky, and you will feel amazing afterwards.
I
Still,
just Googled it, and there's only hot people on the pictures in Google. So it must be a good thing.
it
Hot
is a good
dudes,
thing.
hot girls. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really exhausting, but also super healthy for your hormones, for everything, for deep tissues, for muscles. And then I will connect it with other things, and I will definitely have a health bar as well with collagen shakes and adaptogens and functional
Matcha.
matcha, maybe. Yeah, matcha as well, because everyone loves it. Like coconut matcha with coconut water. It won't be too sugary. There won't be any sugar probably. It has to be, because I need science behind, so it needs to have no impact on your blood sugar levels. There can be carbohydrates, but no fast chain sugar. So more natural. And then I will have maybe really like with chaga and reishi, things like that. Maybe kombucha, all fermented stuff, all healthy things which are good for your body and high
How
anti.
did you discover this luxury thing? Like, where did you find it?
I did it like almost like most of my life is happening randomly per accident, and I went per accident into a class in Paris 4 years ago, and I saw this big machines. They are really big,
It's like a big Pilates machine, like bigger.
Yeah, kind of with high resistance cables. And Sebastian Lacree, he's coming from bodybuilding. He built that because he thought Pilates is the machines are way too small, and it
I
was
actually agree with that. I was like, it's true. The machines are small. Yeah, it's
especially for
true.
men. And he wanted something for men. That's why he did that.
Yeah,
Especially for men. So for women it works, but for men it's not working. And also it was not the springs, like you can change the resistance, wasn't hard enough for him. So he came up with Lacree. And then I went to this studio in Paris, and there was a ballet trainer, and I saw these machines, and I said, "Oh my God, what is this?" And I'm really strong. And I went to these machines, and on the neck, and I was in the middle, and she was always showing, look at her, she's doing it right. And I was, oh God, I'm dying. And then she always corrected me as well. And if you change one movement just a little bit, it's so much more exhausting. For example, if your hip is direct over your knee when you are kneeling, when you are in your how do you say, in your beer hold, I don't know if you know it, but
yeah.
that is way more exhausting. And then I had muscle pain for 3 days. I never have this.
3 years, 3 days.
Three
So
days. 3 years.
I'm gonna
Ciao.
have muscle. I love that. I'm just looking at the pictures, and this looks like really like a torture machine. Like it looks like It reminds me when I discovered the ski erg from Concept 2 the first time. 3 years ago, I discovered the ski erg. I only did rowing. Discovered the ski erg, and then the ski erg is like I was like, "Oh, I'm dying." It's like everything hurts, but it's so much more effective. It's like it builds up the core, and now I love it. And I think this
Nice,
could
yeah.
be my. Huh?
Yeah,
What?
it's nice. And you only do it 45 minutes because you can't do it any longer. And then you have 45 minutes, high effective, high resistance, low impact, hormone friendly workout.
This is what I want. It looks great.
It's amazing. And then and then I wanted to do it every day, but there was no studio yet. And so they have it in Berlin. They built studios, like two in,
But the machines are massive.
yeah, they're really massive.
Can I share a picture of it quickly? How big the machines are? Wait, I
Is
want
this
to.
with, are you doing this
You
podcast
see?
with a picture?
You see how big the machine is? It's like that's much bigger than the ones
Pilates.
from
Yeah.
Pilates. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah,
Is this podcast with picture?
I mean this will appear now briefly if people watch this point. Yeah, but I was just that's interesting. It's
Yeah.
so big. Love
So
it.
it's amazing. You will love it. If I build it, you need to come.
I will come. Right now, I'm not living in Vienna anymore.
Uh,
But I felt like I never lived there really. Just physically there. My mind was also in Australia and now somewhere else. So I actually live in Bangkok now. So I'm curious if there's a studio here. And if you make it in Vienna, I will come and go there, obviously. Can't wait. And what makes you think Vienna is a good market for that? Do you think people are too weak anyhow. Why would they use it?
yeah, actually, that's my concern.
No, you're kidding. I'm just teasing you.
That is really my concern. But I think I will offer two kind of classes, and people will love it because there's always one target group. They want it harder, and after that, you just know that you have done something really great for your body. So I think I will find people who really want to do that. And you can still adjust it to your level. That's always possible. So you can push yourself to the max, but you can chill a little bit also, but not really chill, but you can do it a
But
little
it's
bit.
kind of cool, if you like normally my I don't know, I hate speaking about my ex, but normally she would go to Pilates and I wouldn't try, and it's like it's like a woman thing. Like not that I don't want it, but I would go to yoga sometimes, but I think this seems to be great because you can go with a partner together. If you're man, woman, go there and then hang out and have a workout together. I think it's a bit harder when you do Pilates, but also the branding and everything. I mean, the machines are black, so they speak to men as well, I guess. It's like silly things. So basically, and then there's more men, so other men feel comfortable coming. So this is like awesome. So you will allow all the girls in Vienna to bring all the partners. You have like twice as much market. They're all gonna be there if they
Yeah,
want to it or not, and then they like it. Like
yeah.
why not? Is it with music? Is it with music as well?
Yeah,
Music?
definitely. It's
Okay.
with music. I love music. For me, it's important to have music in my classes because it motivates me a lot.
Yeah.
And it might be even, it depends. We have a little bit, it's not sure if we get the space we wanted. So, but it might be with microphones as well, because I'm used to in Berlin, they teach with microphone, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you can
It's
turn
clearer.
on,
The voice is more clear.
yeah, and then you can turn on the music a little bit louder.
Uh-huh.
I mean, still
In
take care of the neighbors, but it's,
in London as well. In London as well. They do that as well. They with the microphone.
yeah.
Here in Bangkok they don't, but they have like 4 trainers in each session. I'm exaggerating. Like 2 trainers and a little help, and they go around and explain it.
Wow.
They don't have microphone, but yeah, they should.
M40 mean?
Except at F45, yeah,
Yeah, but
F45.
yeah, there you, I don't know. I think, you won't need microphones, but sometimes you need it when you
Yeah,
have a
I
trainer
mean,
and in a big room.
yeah, two trainers are better. Okay, I'm very excited for that. And when you gonna open the studio and really open a studio also in Bangkok or just in Vienna?
I will start with Vienna. I mean, in Bangkok, there is already one. You can go there.
Ah, really? I can try it out. I will try it out. Let you know how it is. And but then your
To
plan
start in
is
Vienna, we don't have a date yet because our location we almost got is not sure if we will get it yet. So it depends a little bit on that. But hopefully, beginning of next year.
okay. Great. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it will work out. Fingers crossed for that.
fingers crossed. Yeah.
Well, I feel like we talked about a lot of things here I didn't expect, which is always great. So what would Annalena now 34 tell yourself when you're 20? What would you tell your past Annalena if you could go back? What advice would you give her?
Probably that I don't need to focus on work all the day and that I don't need to prove anything to be worthy, and that because I think always that I had to achieve more, I have to work harder, I have to work out harder. But yeah, that wasn't the case. So actually that I would tell me that I should be softer to myself because I'm pretty,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would tell myself the same, but I wouldn't
Yeah?
listen. Yeah.
Wow.
But I
Crazy.
wouldn't listen. But I wouldn't listen. I can't listen now, even sometimes or most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, to show vulnerability is something which is really hard for me, and I think that's something I can do more. And also back in my 20s, especially then, it was not a thing at all. I would never cry in front of people.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know about me. Like I no.
I mean,
I
sometimes
think
it happens, but I would feel ashamed.
yeah, I mean of course. Yeah, I mean what would I tell myself? I mean, I would, one thing I really like what I learned is understanding my emotions, and I only understood my emotions when I was like 26 or 27 with my psychologist. Out of a situation where I just didn't know what's going on, like what is causing my feelings and stuff like that. And I think a lot of men have this.
Yeah.
But for many it doesn't matter. But for me it matters because I think I'm kind of a sensitive guy, somewhat a sensitive person. And I would like urge myself to understand my emotions somehow earlier, understand what's driving it, why, so I can be a bit more conscious
Mm.
or reflective. I think that everything else I think I couldn't change. If I tell myself be softer on myself, I wouldn't be softer on myself. So yeah, just fuck off.
But at least you would tell yourself. I think that's the important thing.
I would try to speak to myself. I really would try. But it's also part of me, like I think I'm still like this. It's part of my driver, but yeah, I think probably it would be the same for you. If you go back and said, oh, be soft to yourself, like, just piss off, Annalena, go somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I would always try to be the strongest everywhere. I would always fight. I will always fight, and I love that also about me. But sometimes it's okay to be a little bit softer.
Yeah, sometimes it's tiring, right? Like what are
Yes.
we fighting for? I reach this moment sometimes. It's kind of funny. And then the next day I wake up like, oh, let's start again. Yeah, it is literally less than a night. I was like, oh my God, like so tired, like working on this product launch, it's so tiring. So many weekends and I need to sleep, speak with my friend here. I met her. She works every day. Like, how do you do that? You work so late. And then I go to bed, I wake up, let's do it again. Like I'm feeling good again. What about the crying? Like, do you cry now publicly? Easier? Do you still feel ashamed? Do you cry less or more?
I cry in front of my friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When I need to cry, I don't cry a lot. I'm not that sensitive. I'm not a person who needs to cry a lot, but I'm working on it. I still don't like to cry in front of strangers.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
And I still don't like to stand on the street and just start crying. Still, I still feel ashamed. So it's still a topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
doing better. I'm doing better.
I think I haven't cried in 5 years or so of my life.
Wow.
I was always pretty. I had phases where I was depressive. Like I did have that. That's why I was seeing the psychologist, because I didn't understand why. Why? Because I thought everything in my life is good. Why I'm like this? I want to know. That was my driver. So I had phases where I was sad, and then I kind of managed it. Like you can't fix it, but I think you understand it, and I managed it really well for many years. And then I was pretty happy. I was living in Sydney even before. I had a good life, and I was never was crying like twice in 5 years. And then I met this person and stuff, and we were together for 3.5 years. And I swear, I wasn't sad or crying a single day. Like in during this time, like especially with her, I was never sad. Didn't have a single sense of sadness in this relationship. Maybe that was the problem, Like I never knew what I wasn't appreciating enough. And then when the person left me, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. But I didn't know. So I was crying like almost every day in the morning. I didn't know why. I was just sad in the morning, and then kind of eased out. I went to the gym and eased out. So it was like this for many months, and it was impossible to control. Like I would be in a meeting and I would just be sad. It's like someone dies and stuff. It's the same feeling as someone dies. That's the reference I read, and it's true. And there's no way to control it. So what I did is I was like in these meetings and I started crying. Like, hey guys, I'm just sad. Quickly, I gotta be right back.
I like
And
I like that.
I turned off the camera. I was like, okay, now it's fine. Okay, so what is everyone doing? I'm okay. Now again. Sorry, it just happened. and and I also started laughing because it was kind of ridiculous. So I was kind of managing the grief in this way. I mean, sometimes it would be very bad. I was like, just when I'm not doing anything, it was really hard. But I felt like, man, it's so easy to be sad these days. Imagine like the generation of our parents and stuff. There was so much judgment, and I can see a psychologist. I can be sad. Everyone is nice about it nowadays, isn't it like that? So I think it's so cool, like these times we live in, like but it can be sad even as a man, like pretty cool, right? Isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is what we need, because being sad or showing, we know it, right? Showing a weakness is to be strong, it's brave. And we all want that. And if you suppress it, it will come out anyway somehow and in another way, which might be very hard also. I like that you can let it go and let it come out, because it will come anyways somehow.
Yeah, I think it's like that. And also can't wait to try out your studio and really push myself. Don't be so soft on myself when I'm there. Like I'm gonna go all in. I mean, it's made for
Yeah.
bodybuilders. This machine, it looks like great. Anyhow, it was so great speaking to you today. Before we end this conversation, is there anything that you would like to share with the audience before we end?
Yeah, maybe be sometimes more soft to yourself. Do a check-in, listen to your body, and not listen to everyone else before you listen to yourself.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's definitely important.
Thank you so much, Annalena.